February 24, 1965, marked a turning point in Kenya's post-independence history. A bright morning in Nairobi turned dark with the assassination of one of Kenya's most radical minds, Pio Gama Pinto. Just 3 days later, across the Atlantic, Malcolm X was gunned down in New York City. Coincidence? Or a sinister web of international conspiracies? Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. It helps us bring more compelling stories to your screen. Let's get started. To understand the gravity of Pio Gama Pinto's assassination, we must first understand the man himself. Born in 1927 in Kenya to a Goan family, Pinto was not just a journalist, but a staunch anti-colonialist and freedom fighter. He played a crucial role in the Mau Mau movement, providing intellectual and logistical support to the fighters. Pinto's weapon wasn't a gun. It was his words, his ability to unite, and his unwavering commitment to justice. After Kenya's independence in 1963, Pinto's vision for the nation, one of equality and socialism, often clashed with the capitalist direction of Jomo Kenyatta's government. Pinto was outspoken against corruption and the emerging elite class that threatened to sideline the masses who had fought for independence. His work made him a hero to many, but a threat to those in power. His assassination on that fateful morning outside his home sent shockwaves through the nation. The morning of February 24, 1965, started like any other. Pinto had just dropped off his daughter at school. As he returned home, a gunman ambushed him and shot him point blank. The assassin fled, leaving Pinto's lifeless body in his driveway. The official narrative quickly pinned the murder on a low-level operative who allegedly acted alone. But questions arose. Why would a man like Pinto, who had no personal enemies, be targeted? Who had the most to gain from his death? Many fingers pointed toward the Kenyatta government. Pinto's socialist ideals directly opposed Kenyatta's policies, which increasingly catered to the capitalist elite and foreign interests. Could this have been a state-sanctioned killing to silence dissent? Now, let's shift our focus to Malcolm X. By February 1965, Malcolm had distanced himself from the Nation of Islam and formed the Organization of Afro-American Unity. He was increasingly vocal about connecting the African-American struggle to the broader anti-colonial movements in Africa.
As I said, and brought us here in chains to work and build this country and make a wealthy nation, not for black people, but for white people.
Just 3 days after Pinto's assassination, Malcolm X was gunned down in New York City. On the surface, these events seemed unrelated. But were they? Both men were vocal about the exploitation of African nations and people. Both challenged existing power structures, and both were silenced within days of each other. Conspiracy theorists have long speculated about the involvement of the CIA and FBI in Malcolm X's murder. Could similar forces have had a hand in Pinto's assassination? In the 1960s, the CIA was deeply involved in African politics, often undermining leaders and movements that threatened U.S. interests. Pinto's socialist ties and criticism of Western exploitation made him a prime target. Documents later revealed that the U.S. government kept close tabs on leaders and activists like Pinto. The timing of his death, followed by Malcolm's, raises unsettling questions. If you're finding this investigation intriguing, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let's take a closer look at the Kenyan government. After independence, tensions grew within Kenyatta's inner circle. Pinto's radical ideas were seen as a threat to the status quo. Some insiders suggest that Pinto's opposition to land grabs by the elite was the final straw. But what if external forces encouraged this assassination? The Cold War was at its peak, and Africa was a battleground for ideological influence. The CIA had a history of supporting coups and assassinations to prevent the spread of socialism. Was Pinto another victim of this strategy? Similarly, the FBI's COINTELPRO program actively worked to disrupt civil rights movements in the U.S. Could there have been a coordinated effort to silence voices advocating for global solidarity? While the official narrative surrounding the deaths of Pio Gama Pinto and Malcolm X provide convenient answers, the deeper truths remain elusive. Both men were champions of justice, silenced at critical moments in their movements. Whether their assassinations were the result of domestic politics or international conspiracies, one thing is clear: their ideas live on. Their deaths remind us of the cost of speaking truth to power, and they challenge us to question the stories we're told about our history. Thank you for watching. What do you think? Were the assassinations of Pinto and Malcolm X linked, or were they merely tragic coincidences? Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time,